Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
My name's Eddie Metcalf. I enjoy working in my yard. And, I can't do that anymore because I'm missing most of my lung. They did a CAT scan of my kidneys. No more kidney stones, that's the good news, but we found a spot on your lung. That frankly scared the hell out of me. I hadn't smoked in 22 years. How could this happen to me? He said, well, you know about radon gas. Well, I heard about it. He said, well, the second leading cause of cancer in America is radon. 22,000 people a year die from this. I literally left the doctor's office, got a test kit, put it in the house, and our result was 39.8. The upper limit is 4. We got to get this fixed. That was on a Monday, and on Wednesday, our mitigation system was up and running. Well, I think everybody should have their house tested. We'd never known we'd still be living there. I could get another tumor from it. But right now, it's changing my life.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
From the Board of Commissioners meeting that was held on Tuesday, July 9th. So we started the meeting, of course, with the Pledge of Allegiance, and all commissioners were present with the exception of Bo Warren. So we had a presentation from the Sheriff's Office for the transfer of K-9 Azriel, and it was approved. And just a little bit about that. Azriel is one of our officers, K-9 officers, and he has a degenerative disc disease, and the vendor that we get our K-9 officers from, they offered to take him back and replace him. The officers that have worked with Azriel decided that they all wanted to get together and provide a life for Azriel that he could live out as he could most comfortably. So the Board of Commissioners thought that that was a noble idea and a noble gesture. So now Azriel will be living out his life comfortably with these deputies. So he was transferred to these deputies, and we're so grateful for those deputies stepping up and taking on that responsibility. We then had a presentation of the fiscal year 2023 audit from Malden and Jenkins. And if you'd like to take a look at that presentation, you can hear the audio on the Board of Commissioners meeting that is uploaded to the Walton County website. So we then moved on to Planning Commission recommendations, and we had a denial of a rezone of 2.4 acres from A2 to B3 for truck parking and a laydown lot and outside storage. And the Board of Commissioners did take the Planning Commission recommendation of denial, and they denied that rezone. The Planning Commission recommended approval of a conditional use on 10 acres for a solid waste transfer station, and the Board of Commissioners did take the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approved the conditional use with conditions. You can see those conditions listed on the agenda summary. They then had an approval of an amendment to the Walton County Land Development Ordinance, errata sheet dated 11/01/2023. The Board of Commissioners did not take the recommendation of the the Planning Commission for erratas 1, 2, 3, and they were denied by the Board of Commissioners. Errata number 4 was approved. The administrative consent agenda was approved unanimously, and the Board of Commissioners made appointments for the year with the reappointment of Rhonda Hawk as County Clerk, the reappointment of Patrice Broughton as Assistant County Clerk, the reappointment of Atkinson and Ferguson as the County Attorney, and the reappointment of Timmy Shelnut as Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And they appointed David Keener, who is the Mayor of Social Circle, as the representative for Walton County under Northeast Georgia Aging Services Advisory Council. So we then moved on to the acceptance of bids and proposals, and the Center Hill Church Road water main was accepted from the Dickerson Group in the amount of $5,133,200. County Manager John Ward gave an update, and it was announced that the Humane Society would be having their ribbon cutting on Friday, January 12th. There wasn't an executive session held for that meeting, so the meeting was adjourned. I do want to take some time out to go over some of the accomplishments that the Board of Commissioners had in the year of 2023. There's always stuff to be done, and we're always, working to make our services better for the citizens of Walton County. So these are just a few things that we wanted to highlight in the year 2023. So the revenues that came in for 2023, and these are unaudited numbers, was $78,421,525. The expenditures equaled $64,295,642. And we had a general fund increase of approximately $14 million. So the general fund balance now sits at $63,768,000 approximately. Again, those are all unaudited figures. If you would like to hear about the audit again, the firm Malden and Jenkins did give that presentation at the January 9th board meeting. So we did have a few projects in infrastructure in 2023 with the Walton County Fire Rescue Station 7. We did have the groundbreaking for that facility. And if you all will remember, Fire Rescue Station 7 caught fire in April of 2022 due to the engine catching fire in the apparatus bay, and the building was a total loss. So construction is ongoing and will be completed soon for Fire Station number 7. The Walton County Extension Office had their ribbon cutting in March of 2023. The office is located out at Criswell Road. So those of you that were familiar with visiting the Extension Office in downtown Monroe, you can now have all of your needs met by going to the office on Criswell. It is a very nice office. We're excited for Joel and his team out there and all of the things that they continue to do for the citizens of Walton County. The Walton County Senior Citizens Council and Social Circle had their ribbon cutting for their building on April 13th of 2023. And again, any seniors that want to participate in their services, you're more than welcome to go to that building, and it's located across the street from the the South Walton Community Center on Fairplay Road. Planning and Development moved their office to The Courthouse Annex 1, that's on Court Street, and the ribbon cutting was held for their building on June 9th of 2023. So they're fully operational and loving the space over there. So if you have any needs for the Planning and Development Department, you can come visit us across the street from the historic courthouse on Court Street. We also had the groundbreaking of the Public Safety Complex, and that was held on June 16th. And the Board of Commissioners did rename the Public Safety Complex to the Joe Chapman Franklin Thornton Public Safety Complex. So the Walton County Employee Health Clinic held its ribbon cutting on June 29th, and the clinic provides medical services including wellness visits and lab work to all employees on the Walton County Health Insurance Plan as well as their dependents. That's also located on Court Street. So we had a few renovations out at Criswell and the Ag Center. So they were able to add 4 new pickleball courts, and they also upgraded the kitchen to a commercial kitchen for events, and they also enclosed the arena space. So if you haven't been out there to take a look at the renovations for the Ag Center, and if you have any use for that, just go and take a look out there. It's really nice, and we're excited that they may be adding more indoor pickleball courts out there soon. So those are some of the highlights that we had for 2023. Again, we are
Hello everybody, we're so excited to be in downtown Monroe today at the Monroe Pizzeria for their ribbon cutting and grand opening. Kurt here is the new owner. It's formerly Little Italy, but Kurt's made lots of great changes, and I think, what would you like to say?
Same recipe of food as Little Italy's, plus a little more. And my daughter-in-law, LaToya Roberts, is a manager, and she's in charge of the menu and keeping the place running smoothly.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about the menu, any menu changes.
Of course, you wanted to keep the same flavors that everyone was used to and everyone knows and loves, and also just bring in a couple of new items to the menu, as far as like our homemade fettuccine alfredo, which everyone is loving. That's family recipe, and then also the Monroe grinder. It's a huge sub. Every time I bring it out, everyone's like, "Oh, what is that?" So yeah, I mean, we're excited to be here and offer new recipes, and so far so good. And we are blessed, and the community is so amazing with all the support and all the feedback. Everyone has just been great. So
that's awesome. Yes. That's awesome. And I heard a little rumor about garlic knots.
Oh yes, that was my husband Joe's idea. Yeah, so garlic knots were a huge seller. We also had like the garlic bread with or without the cheese, but the garlic knots are just really good. Yeah. And they come with this side of marinara sauce. So
that's awesome. So they are located right downtown Monroe. Anything else you want to say?
No, we offer party sheets of pizza. They're 32 slices, squares. We brought that down so you can have a party. We'll cater or bring your food to you.
Yes. Very good. Are you ready to cut the ribbon?
I am ready.
All right. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Good job.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Madeline Dukes, and you're in Anyone Can Paint. There's 13 different artists who sell their work here in the Monroe Mercantile Building, and we offer a wide variety of classes. This is one of our Nutcracker classes. It is very popular. I hand sculpt and sew everything that's on these nutcrackers, and I can teach you how to as well. These are some nutcrackers I'm currently working on. They all start in this stage, and I chisel away different pieces and sculpt new things. This is a Batman one. I can customize any nutcracker and make him nice and fancy. We also offer the traditional painting classes, wood burning, resin, clay, and much, much more. Come see me at the Monroe Mercantile Building.
My name is Curtis Green. I own Bare Bones Leather here in Monroe, Georgia. It's located in the Monroe Mercantile Building, which is the olive branch building for antiques and home decor. Been doing it for about 15 years. I did an apprenticeship for about a year and a half and caught on pretty quick, became obsessed with it over the years, and so that's kind of brought me from from working for a large phone company, retired from there, and now I do leather work full-time here in the shop in Monroe. I do anything from belts, wallets, knife sheaths, gun holsters. The only thing I stay away from, I can't do boots, I can't do furniture or car interior. My main focus is motorcycle seats. I do motorcycle seats, tool rolls, saddle bags, pretty much anything that has to do with the motorcycle that you can put leather on. I'm also the guy they come to for artwork. I do all the artwork in the leather work, the tooling and all that. I do some classes. I have an apprentice right now, but I'm always allowing the younger kids to come in here and try their hand at it. But that's kind of what I do here as far as leather work, is pretty much anything and everything that you can cover. I've done golf clubs and axes and bull horns. But like I said, the main thing people come to me for, and it's where I kind of got my name in the industry, is motorcycle stuff. I have done movie props and TV props, but like I said, my main thing is motorcycle stuff.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful, Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We're staying busy here at the center. We're starting to get into springtime, and just wanted to remind you, I think I said it last time, just to remind you, a lot of people are pruning back their crepe myrtles, and they're starting to do some of the spring cleaning outside. Limbs, leaves, all of those items, they're going to have to go to an inert landfill. Call us, let us direct you to the nearest one to you. But if you come all the way down here, we're going to have to turn you around. We simply can't take any of that stuff. We've been having to turn around a lot of cars. So just wanted to put that out there. We are starting to plan some of our spring events, and the first one is we're having a tire amnesty event. It's a week-long tire amnesty, and we're going to kick that off Saturday, April 20th. And we'll be accepting tires here free of charge through Friday, April 26th. The only restrictions we're putting on that presently is the tires do need to be off the rims. We can't take tires on rims. The tire processor we take our tires to won't accept them that way. So we will be turning you around if you have those. Outside of that, presently, we don't see putting any other restrictions on the tire amnesty. Again, give us a call if you have any questions, 770-267-1421. Be happy to tell you more or answer any questions you may have about that. We've also partnered with the Loganville Lions Club, and we're going to be doing a document destruction on Saturday, April 27th, and that will be at City Hall in Loganville. And I know that may be a little bit of a trip for most of you, and we are planning, or going to try to plan, to do one here at the Recycling Center in either May or June. I'll get details out on that, but if you're really pressed to get rid of some of those old documents, you're free to bring them to the City Hall in Loganville. Again, that's Saturday, April the 27th, and that will be from 10 to 12 there at City Hall. So come on out and bring any old documents you have. I know it's tax season, and there's generally a lot of those documents lying around. So come out and see us. Give us a call. We can give you more information. I'll keep you posted on the other document destruction that we're going to try to have here at the Recycling Center, and we'll let you know about all of that. And again, like I always do, come out and see us. Give us a call. Let us help you get started recycling. Let us help you find new things to recycle. We can answer your questions about, disposal of certain items. If you've got large items that can't be put in a can at home, right here at the Recycling Center is a perfect place to bring them. We're also accepting mattresses now, as long as they're in fair condition. Don't let them sit outside and and get rained on for 2 or 3 weeks before you bring them here, or don't let them get mildewed. As long as they're not big holes and they're not torn apart and not soaking wet, you can bring those mattresses here. Those are hard to get rid of. There is a $10 charge on each mattress, and we have a 2 mattress limit here, but we do accept the mattresses here. So give us a call, come out and see us. We'll be happy to walk you around, tell you a little bit about what we do, answer any questions you have, and until next time, take care.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson with the Recreation Report, and on the screen you had just seen our one of our latest leisure programs that we're going to have, and it's by popular demand. This will be our second craft fair. This one will be at Meridian Park in Loganville. That's on Generation Boulevard, right off the corner of Twin Lakes and Highway 81. We have a big community center there with a couple gyms, and we'll have our spring craft fair on February 19th. The event date is March 23rd, but you can register from February 19th till March 16th. So the event date is March 23rd. It only costs $15. So if you've got some crafts that you'd like to sell, things that you've made, things that just about anything that people have done last year when we did this in Social Circle, it sold out. We had a lot of vendors, anywhere from wood crafters to people that were selling hats to Christmas decorations. There was some t-shirts. There was tons of different crafts there. A lot of people came to it, and the vendors did real well. The money that you sell, you get to keep. The Recreation Department charges the $15. We provide the tables for you and the space, and then we'll advertise for the folks to come in to the event. So look forward to seeing you. If you're interested in participating as a vendor, pre-sign up for that. Just go on our website at waltoncountyga.gov. But we hope that you will come and at least see the vendors, and it's free to get in. And hopefully you'll find a few items that you would like to purchase from those local vendors. Our spring sports are doing real well. All of our baseball, softball, soccer, and track teams have already been selected. The uniforms have been picked out, and all the teams will start practicing as the weather permits here in February towards the end. Our opening day is set for March 16th, so all the teams are really getting geared up for that. We are looking for some good weather, hopefully this spring, that will allow our teams to get outside and participate. Speaking of getting outside, it is time to start looking at going to some of our outside pavilions. We have a lot of those throughout the county that you can use for birthday parties or reunions or any get-togethers that you might have. You can go online on our website at waltoncountyga.gov, and you can reserve those pavilions there. Cost to reserve is only $30, so it's fairly cheap. We look forward to you to come out to our parks. We have several walking trails that are outside now that these warmer afternoons are happening. People will enjoy going out and walking those parks. So look forward to seeing you. And on those days that it is raining, remember we do have the climate controlled areas in our community centers in Monroe, Loganville, and Social Circle for you to enjoy. It's very inexpensive to join our community centers. It's only $2 per week per family, so it's very inexpensive. And if you are over 60 years old, it's absolutely free for you. So no reason for you not to come up and utilize those community centers. So until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks a lot.
Welcome to Good Hope, Georgia. The new fire station. This is a ceremony to officially cut the ribbon cutting. I want to thank, on behalf of Sunbelt Builders and Assistant Management, Jeff Prime, doing the job. I want to thank the Board of Commissioners. This happened at a very fast speed. We lost the fire station here to a fire, which was somewhat embarrassing, but the results afterward are phenomenal. This station has bells and whistles, which Chief Haney will tell you about, that no other station in the county has. It was a $3 million project, which we received criticism on, but I want to thank the voters for voting for SPLOSH. SPLOSH funds was used in this project, as well as general fund balance. And if we had not built up the general fund balance to a hefty amount like we have today, on behalf of the board, we would have had to borrow money to build this fire station back, and we did not. So, Good Hope, congratulations. This should last you the next 100, maybe even 150 years, as long as the next firemen don't burn it down. This is the first fire station in the county with sprinkler system. So we're stepping up and beyond, and I'm proud for the community of Good Hope, as well as I think everyone else is. Randy, you want to say something?
Yeah, just want to thank the chairman and members of the Board of Education for the
Board of Commissioners.
Board of
Education didn't have nothing to do with it.
Board of Commissioners and the county agencies for providing the resources to build this station here. I want to thank Chief Haney and all his crew for what they've done for the community over the years. I want to thank Walton County Facilities for the supervision and providing the resources again for this building right here. I want to thank, I guess mostly I want to thank the firemen that basically come to these buildings and put their lives on the line for us. You know, sometimes we don't think about that until something happens, till an emergency happens. But I'm just really proud of what the fire services have done here for the city of Good Hope in the past, and what we're looking for them to do in the future. Thank you again very much to both the citizens that are here showing support this morning, residents of Good Hope and members of the Good Hope community. Again, thank you very much.
Chief Haney, your turn.
I just endorse everything that's been said, and I really like to thank Chairman Thompson and the Board of Commissioners for allowing this building to be built. To add on to Chairman Thompson's statement about the first sprinkler system, we also put in this building the Firefighter Cancer Initiative, so there's air scrubbers throughout the station and the bay right here to try to keep all the particles down from the firemen even getting cancer and not when they're coming back from a call and all that stuff. And we've got gear washers to wash gear to make sure we get all the carcinogenics off of the gear so they're safer and better living. So just endorse everything that's been said.
Either one of the commissioners?
I'd like to start off by thanking, again, the Board of Commissioners, thanking the community for being here and being a part of this, thanking Sunbelt Builders. But I'd also like to thank God that we didn't have a travesty that night, that the fire station did burn down, and for God waking their firefighter Bramlett up and allowing him to get out safely without getting hurt. I'd like to thank Chief Dykes from the city of Monroe, also Josh Jamison. There's some other firefighters that came in that night to help with the call and with everything. It was great to see everybody come together, and thank you again for everybody being here.
I want to thank everybody for coming here today. It's a great opportunity for Good Hope to have a brand new fire station. So thank you for the citizens. And like they've said earlier, firefighters run toward the fire when the fire breaks out. So I want to commend them for the job well done. And I'm excited for Good Hope, excited for Walton County, and this is going to be a crown jewel for many, many years to last. So thank you.
Anybody else want to take the limelight before we cut the ribbon?
I'm going to pull it up.
We got you.
One more thing while she's doing that. The siren that woke that fireman up tonight is sitting on the table right here as you walk by. So that's actually, when it went off, that's what woke him up. So.
And Chief and the firemen are trying to grill a few hot dogs. They don't think they got enough, but they will last until they're gone after this. And feel free to walk through. I'm very proud of this. This is a really great addition to the Walton County Fire Service. So with that being said, 1, 2, 3. You've done the ribbon.
Everybody still got the fingers? That was an excellent turnout today for the ribbon cutting for number 7 Walton County Fire Rescue Station.
Today on Feed the Goats, we're going to see if the goats like the Dunker's cookies. And we have some potato chips. And let's see what they'll do. We'll start with a couple of the cookies and see how they like them. Beth, would you like a Dunker's cookie? This is a Dunker's cookie. Would you like that? You like that, don't you? What about Heidi? Do you like it? Beth's back to Lawrence. See if I can slip one over there. Sophie. Yeah, even Sophie's eating it. Beth's eating it. Okay, now let's try some potato chips. I don't know what brand this is, but there's some potato chips that have kind of gotten stale. Well, Beth, you just want to eat them out of the box, aren't you? How about Sophie? Would you like some? Okay. Well, this is another time with the goats and Feed the Goats. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
I call them the peace out generation, which, by the way, my college freshmen told me, they're like, Dr. Furman, that's like so not cool anymore. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like drop the mic, like what? And they're like, just don't do anything. Like just say peace out. I like doing that. They're the peace out generation, because if they're not happy, they're out. If they're not happy at work, they're quitting, and they don't even give you 2 weeks notice. If they don't like you, they're breaking up with you, and they don't even tell you. Because what's that called, y'all? They're going to totally ghost you. Gen X isn't happy. They go home. They bitch about it. They write like 6 resignation letters to themselves. They get up the next morning, put their pants back on, and like they go to work, right? Not them. They're not happy. They're out. And that is why a lot of them are resigning during this great resignation. Because if they don't feel like you care about them, they're out. And this is where the big disconnect is. The way that they want to be cared about is different than how you think they want to be cared about, okay? So let's take a look at them here real quick. Let's talk about what they lived through growing up so you understand their lens. My yellows, how old were you when 9/11 happened? Whoever said 18, you're probably more of a cusper, and you're demonstrating more Gen X tendencies. The rest of you who are like 15 and younger, so I heard 7, 8, 11, okay? How old were you when Columbine happened? That was 98. 8, 6, okay? I have my cusper over here. What were you told was going to happen on December 31st, 1999? Okay, so I want you all to think about this. This generation, as young children, had a terrorist attack on U.S. soil that we were told was never going to happen again since Pearl Harbor. They suddenly had these mass school shootings. You were told that the end of the world was going to happen on New Year's Eve. You had Al Gore telling you that the hole in the ozone layer was so big that you were going to have to wear sunblock and sunglasses every single time you went outside. You saw your parents who were solely committed and loyal to that one organization. They let them go. They lost their job. They lost their pension, and they're having to work longer. I want you all to think about this. And so their boomer parents became helicopter parents, and they hovered because life was scary. Can you blame them? Look what they lived through as children. They were old enough to know that scary things were going on, but they weren't emotionally mature enough to process it. And because of that, they are not aspiring for career success. They're not aspiring for job security. Oh, heck no. They aspire for freedom and flexibility because they're living for today because they don't know where tomorrow is going to look like. And that's where you have the big clash between Gen X and millennials, okay? So their communication preference is text or social media. I thought they were going to grow more thumbs because they text away. And their decision-making authority is they want decision-making input. That was important to them. So all of us are in these meetings, and they're standing outside the door going, ooh, can I get in that meeting? And we're all like, really? And they're like, well, yeah, because I can make better decisions than all of you in that room. And it's because growing up, they were given decision-making authority. K through 12 gave them options. Do you want this or you want this? I even think about vacations, okay? My mom said to me, get your ass in the back of the station wagon. Do y'all remember station wagons, riding backwards? I was like car sick all the time. And we get in the car, and she says, we're going on vacation. So I'm like, okay, Ma, where are we going on vacation? And she's like, we'll figure it out when you get there. And we go like 2 towns over. And I'm like, Ma, I thought we were on vacation. And she says, we're not home, are we? If we're not home, we're on vacation. Fast forward, boomers texting their kids, family meeting, 6 o'clock dining room. So you all get together. Yeah, how many of you have family meetings? Yeah, you know you have them. And they're like, honey, where would you like to go on vacation this year? Should we go to the beach? Should we go to Disney World? Or I even think about breakfast, y'all. So my mom said to me on her way out to work, there's cereal in the cupboard, help yourself, where the millennials are coming into the kitchen and mom and dad are like, honey, what would you like for breakfast? And y'all, I saw it with my sister who's a millennial. They're like, would you like cereal or toast or pancakes? And I'm like, pancakes? I had pancakes on Christmas morning, if I was lucky, right? So they had choices. So now they're showing up to your workplaces wanting choices, and you want to know what Gen X is doing to them? Y'all ready? Y'all familiar with the Heisman? They're like, eh. And they're like, oh, but I have this really good idea. Eh. Well, why can't we do this? Eh. And they're like, eh. How many letters do you have after your name? Eh. How long have you been with this organization? Eh. What's your student loan debt ratio that I'm still paying off, right? And when Gen X does this, they do this. And that's why when organizations hire me and give me this money and say, come in and fix our damn millennials, I say to them, you know what? Okay, I'm going to come, but I end up spending all of the time working with my Gen X managers. Okay? They are 36% of the workforce, and they're growing exponentially. By 2025, they will be 75% of the global workforce. So you need to get on board or you need to jump ship. Because if you don't, you're going to either sink your ship or they're going to walk you off the plank. Because they are massive disruptors. That's an academic term. They're changing how everything is done. Why do we have a 5-day work week? Why do we work 40 hours a week? Why are there banker hours? Why do I have to dress professionally? Why? And if because you say, because I said so, or that's the way we've always done it, they're out. They're massive disruptors, and you got to be worried about that piece out. Okay? So let's quickly go through Gen Z. I call them the meh generation, M-E-H-H. They're really not fazed by anything. They grew up during the Great Recession. Like, meh, what's the big deal? They only know a world with terrorism in it. Like, meh, what's the big deal? Like, blow yourself up. Like, clean it up. Like, come on, let's keep going. You know, like, same-sex marriage. What's the big deal? Why do people care? Right? They've seen a black president. They've now seen a woman vice president. They only know a world with social media. But here's what's significant. This is going to be the first generation where the Caucasian generation becomes the minority population in America. And they are so dialed into security and stability, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you are not being inclusive and seeing people as individuals, they're going to call you out on it, and they're not afraid to do it, okay? Their communication preference, virtual, because they keep reinventing it. They're not texting. What are they doing? It's all videos, yeah. And they yearn for face-to-face attention. Any guesses as to why they yearn for face-to-face attention? Because their Gen X parents are such workaholics, they've neglected them of that face-to-face attention. So you go home and you all think about that tonight, okay? We don't know what their decision-making method is because their Gen X parents are like, I'm the parent, you're the child, you're not making decisions. And we don't know what percentage of the workforce they are because they're just now entering the workforce, which the worst mistake you can make is calling a Gen Z or a millennial, because number one, millennials hate being called millennials. So right now, everybody needs to take that M word out of their vocabulary. It doesn't exist. They hate it, and Gen Z hates it even more. The millennials are 25 to 40-ish, which makes me a little uncomfortable because it's really hard to compare a 28-year-old and a 38-year-old, okay? Here, 24 to 12 are your Gen Zs, and they're very different than millennials. All right, let's move on. What you have to be worried about is they are clashing with Gen Y, the millennials, pretty dramatically because they show up to work on time, they shake hands, they make eye contact, they're dressed professionally, they have a formal signature on their email. Like they email me, Dr. Furman, I apologize for not coming to class next week. I apologize for the inconvenience. And I'm like, you're not inconveniencing me, but okay. But I've already met with my classmates. I'm gonna make up what I missed, sincerely, signature. These are my millennials, texted me in the middle of the night. Yo, Mel. When's our next exam? And I'm like, yesterday. Oh, can I make it up? No. Can I get extra credit? No. Next thing I know, mom and dad's calling me. Johnny missed his exam. No, I know. Can he make it up? No. Can he get extra credit? No. Well, I'm calling the dean. I am the dean. Like, no. So very, very different. Okay, so let's keep moving. What we're worried about with this generation is that they are forced to behave like adults as children. We, Gen Z, we have them doing budgeting in middle school. We have them picking careers in middle school. Picking a career is a very adult decision. So we are expecting them to behave like adults as children, not healthy, by the way. And we're curious that when they actually get out into the workforce, can they really do this thing called adulting? I don't have time to give examples and go into it, but if you want to know more, you can reach out to me and I can give you some more information about that. Okay, so many of your Gen Xers are experiencing burnout, and they are very comfortable with doing things their way. So if, my young folks, you show up and you get this in your face, don't just turn around and quit and peace out. Be patient, build a relationship with them, because they can answer your why. They just don't have time. I don't have time to explain to them why we do what we do. So find when they have more time and they can explain it to you. Okay? Do you all know what this is? That's a high-end typewriter. Boomers may be feeling a little obsolete, and they're not going anywhere. So reinvent them. Give them opportunities to reinvent and recharge them. And they are awesome mentors for your millennials. They gave birth to them, okay? And so don't just write them off and wait, count the days till they retire. Use them. They have so much expertise to provide you. Don't think that the millennials are trophy kids. I hate when I hear that, because here's what I'm going to say to you. Who is giving them the trophies? Were they giving themselves the trophies? No, their parents were. And here, at the end of the day, everybody wants a trophy. Everybody wants to be rewarded across all generations. Everybody wants feedback. And so how many of you have performance reviews? How often are they? Quarterly? Yes. They're not performance, they're coaching. You're awesome. He's on it. Y'all need to listen to him. So most people have an annual performance review. That is so dated and obsolete and not engaging your young professionals. Right now, they put something on social media and they instantly get 1,000 pieces of feedback. But yet when they show up in your workplaces, they only get it once a year, and most of the time you rush through it. Where here, this gentleman said they have quarterly coaching reviews, and that is great, because you're not necessarily reviewing their performance, you're having a conversation with them and helping them grow and develop. But here's what I'm gonna tell you, my young folks. If you're not getting the feedback that you need and want, ask for it, okay? Go to the next one. The younger generations want to make a difference, so think about your impact and bring that impact into focus. Every single one of your organizations, you should be able to drill down to your impact. The youngest generation of Gen Z cares a whole lot about your corporate values or your social responsibility. So if you cannot clearly articulate and demonstrate that you're living the values of your organization, they may not want to come work for you, okay? The younger generations like everything personalized, so my millennials, hold up your phones. I know you have them out within arm's reach. Everybody kind of look around at the phones at your table. Okay, Gen X, hold up your phone and or phones. All right, so what you may notice is the younger folks, all of their phone cases are personalized. Like it's sparkles, it's football, it's something personalized. And then you see Gen X and it's like black, white, whatever came free with the case. And if it's something fancy, it's because your kids or grandkids bought it for you and you felt bad, so you put it on, right? So to this point, the gentleman made up front is the one-size-fits-all consistency that HR loves to preach to y'all. That's obsolete, sorry, HR. It's dated. You now have to think about all of your employees as individuals and get to know them individually, and you need to coach them. And you're not going to coach your quarterback the same way you're going to coach your offensive lineman. Okay? Answer their why, and if it's because I said so or that's the way we've always done it, you need to rethink. The young people expect and demand innovation. So if your organizations are not demonstrating, eating, living, breathing innovation, they're out. Okay, so I'm going to close here, and y'all, here's what's super cool. I can do this in 3 minutes or less because it's not rocket science. It's really very, very simple, which I already said. The first thing you need to do is you need to care. And Gen X is like, do I really need to care, or can I just like pretend like I care? You not only need to care, you need to communicate that you care. And that's where some of you may not be great at communicating that. People want to know that you care about them. And you have to stop thinking of them as millennials or boomers or Gen X or compartmentalizing or giving them whatever label you want to give them. You need to start thinking of them as individuals and understand that every single one of them has a different lens in how they see the world. And you don't have to like their lens, you don't have to agree with their lens, but you have to respect their lens, okay? Because everybody comes from a different upbringing, different background. And so the more that you can learn about yourself and you can learn about others, so if any of you have access to assessments that you can take, and we talked about this in the women's program this morning, you need to learn about who you are, your biases, your blind spots, your strengths, your preferences, your communication styles. And then once you know that, you need to learn that about all of your people. And then you need to adjust and meet somewhere in the middle. Because you don't ever want to assume anything. Because if you assume that someone's older, they don't know how to use technology, or the young people are like IT support, you don't want to do that. You're compartmentalizing. And so to get to know your people, you have to be approachable and available. And again, this is where my older folks are struggling with this. You're so stressed, you're so overworked, you're doing a job of 3 people, you're balancing all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, we need to schedule care time on your calendar. And they're like, really? I said, no, you do. And it has to be daily, self-care and the care of others, and you have to be approachable and available so these young people can learn from you. And focus on the similarities. Think about that exercise we did. Go back to your offices. Music is a great thing to bring people together. So maybe on Fridays, wear your favorite concert t-shirt day, right? Mine's going to be the Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Faith No More concert. My U2 concert, you know? Backstreet Boys? Yeah, sweet. So focus on the similarities, not the differences. Okay, who is this? Okay, you make me feel so much better because my college students are like, Karate Kid? That's the movie with like Will Smith's son. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so real quick, 80s references, name the movie. This is our time. This is our time down here. Don't feed him after midnight. Ludicrous Speed. Spaceballs, yes. Something about, I'll just say Goose. Yeah, okay. I feel like I need to teach a class of nothing but all of the fun 80s movies that my college students have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, this right here is you need to be someone's Mr. Miyagi. Okay? If you take the experience and the work ethic and the resiliency of the older generations and you take them with the ambition and the innovation and the creativity of the younger generation and you put them together, your organizations are freaking amazing. But you have to be Mr. Miyagi, right? Because Daniel's son was like super annoying, right? Like he was like always in his face, and he was breaking his bonsai, and he was like doing all this stuff. And what did Mr. Miyagi do? He was emotionally mature, and he was calm, wax on, wax off, and he helped him be better. Somebody mentored you at some point, so now it's your job to lean in and mentor them. So rather than do this, lean in instead. Okay, so in closing, my last slide here is this whole 45-minute thing you sat through today was a diversity training, because that's what this is. Recognizing and understanding that everybody has something to bring to the table and they all have a different lens, and to stop compartmentalizing. Help them grow professionally and emotionally so they get to that maturity level that you need them to be to bring your organization into the future and to be successful into the future. So that's all I got. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions, Terry does have a handout. We didn't tell you that on the front end. That she's going to email to all of you that has everything that was in my slides, so don't worry if you missed something. And if you have any questions, anything you want, reach out to me. And if you want, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I curate a lot of articles about this topic and my other topics. You know that they come from reliable resources, and I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So thank you for having me. I'm 1 minute over. Not bad.
History or something.
Person I need to ask is not at her desk.
Have to, if you want to go back over there with your family, you can. But can I tell you something that will help you? All of the bones in both homes, so that everybody has something to look at. There's a spot if you want to sit down right there, will be fine. When you look at this home back here, the Israelite home, and you look at that photograph on the back wall back there, you can see what a typical home struck to marry. They add their home connected to fathers. That shouldn't surprise you. You've heard, in my Father's house are many mansions. That's a roof roller. And you would push the water off and pack the mud back down and repair the roof. So it's good on your pocketbook, but hard on your back. Okay? Now look at the Roman pot right here is what we call a pithoi or pithos. It is almost the same thing as a refrigerator. One of them is definitely a wine amphorae, and the other is meant for serving wine. The last exhibit is the life of the fisherman, and we know several of the disciples were fishermen. So this exhibit, okay, one is has a hole in it. This hole's already carved in them, which means they had been tied to a fishing net, so you could throw the net out over the fish, pull it back, and bring in a pretty good catch. Now, when we look at the nets, well, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
This tent is made out of goat hair, the dark part, and then the light parts are made of camel hair, which I'll zoom in on. And this was the curtain that divided the two sides of the tent. And this is a better shot of the curtain. As you can see, it pulled back and pulled up, and this side would be the female's part, and then over on this side would be the male's part of the tent. This is where he would have guests, and when he had guests, this curtain would be pulled back so that he would have the privacy. But the women that are on this side, they could listen in on the conversation.
I wear the receipt.
This is where they would put the grapes, and then the person would stomp on the grapes. And then as the juice came out, it would come out this little slide down here into this pool. And that's where they would get basically grape juice, which would then turn into wine. This is the olive press right here. This log was the press. And they put the olives down here. And then they would do different stones here. As you see the notches, they would put it farther out, which would put more pressure on that. And with the first stone, that was virgin olive oil. And then with the second stone, it was kind of like olive oil. And way down at the end, when you got that stone, then that olive oil is basically what you used in lamps. It was not edible, and they used that in the lamps. Very interesting. And these are the olives. This is basically the kitchen in the house. And the houses were 4-bedroom, or 4-room rather, and it was actually 1 bedroom, and everybody, children, parents, everybody slept in the 1 room.
We need to build this kind of house.
Maybe we do. No air conditioning.
Where it's cool inside.
They're small to have to live in with that many people.
And the beams in the roof are about 6 foot, so you couldn't be very tall or you'd be hitting the beams as you walk through, or you'd stay hunched over. And then this is where the family would sleep. Just have a mat out on the floor, and they slept on that. Magnitude of this place is incredible, and architecture is
This
just
is
great.
where they have big entrance to the biblical life artifacts galleries. This is where we go.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The life of every child is precious. If you care for a child or teenager with a disability and have limited income and resources, they may qualify for monthly cash payments through the Supplemental Security Income Program, or SSI. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSIkids to learn more. That's ssa.gov/SSIkids. Message produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Yet how much of life are we willing to miss out on? Untreated hearing loss affects our mobility,
It increases the risk of falls by 50%. Good hearing health is essential to staying engaged and doing what we love. Hear well and stay vital. Get a hearing health check every year.